All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Career Tip Tuesday. I am your host, Sherry Sims, founder of Black Career Women's Network. I am solo today. Makita is actually on assignment for work. So I am here today to talk about Career Tip Tuesday. So welcome back. We'll go ahead and give a chance for everyone to give them a chance to tune in. And when you get here, let me know where you're watching from. So I always love to know where everyone is watching from. Career Tip Tuesday. Again, my name is Sherry Sims, founder of Black Career Women's Network. So I want to go ahead and start with Career Tip Tuesday and today's conversation, and I want you to chime in. Okay, one of my favorite books that I love to read, and it's an older book, but it has some really great tips in it, career tips in it, is Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. This is like, one-on-one mistakes that unconsciously we make to sabotage our careers for women. And this is a good book in general for all women in the workplace. But I'm going to focus on a little bit of mistake number 51 in the book for those of you who have it, which is staying in your safety zone. All right. So staying in your safety zone is what I'm going to be talking about. And the reason why is because I have been guilty of staying in my safety zone in my career as well at various times. And so I think it's great to talk about this topic simply because it could be some of you out there now who are in your comfort zone, may not necessarily be happy, want to make a change, do not know really what to do or how to do it, and need some help. So again, we're going to talk about staying in your safety zone. And this is where we're going to go through a couple of the coaching tips that are in the book. All right. So the first one that we're going to talk about is looking for a new role every 3 to 5 years. I'm going to spend a little time on this one because I have my own analogy about this. So I have this, video and an article out there, talking about that, where we need to make sure that we put an expiration date on our jobs. And I think that is true. So don't take it literally like say October 1st, 2026, I am quitting my job, right? Okay, but you don't have to necessarily give it a date. But what you can say is, you know what? 2026, I think I'm gonna start looking for a new role, right? To start kind of thinking about that. But in order for you to really to shift your mindset to think about looking for a new role, you first must have to think about this first. The role you are in now should be setting you up for success. And what I mean by that is that are you getting the experience that you need that can elevate you and keep you marketable and also increase your income potential? The role you're in now should be setting you up to level up. That's really what it should be doing. That's kind of tweetable. I think I might do that. The role that you're in now should be setting you up to level up. And if you're not getting everything you need out of that job, if you look at this job and say that it's not, if you left today, how marketable would you be to be able to get another job that would increase your income potential and your responsibility? And if it's not, then you may want to reconsider if you need to stay. Now, do not take that literally. I'm saying you just take the time to evaluate this for yourself. Okay. And a lot of times our intuition is going to tell us whether this job is working for us or not. You know deep down inside if it is or not. So I think it's a good thing for you to think specifically around checking off the checklist of everything that you want to accomplish in this role. Have you done that in the 3 to 5 years? And if you have, then maybe it is time to consider a new role. That's completely up to you. But again, you always should be evaluating where you are and if you're still getting what you need from the role. So when you look for a role every 3 to 5 years, here's the thing. No one is staying on jobs for 10, 15, 20 years anymore. Now, you do have people who've been on those jobs for a long time, but if they are on the job for a long period of time, they better have been progressing in their career within an organization. So no, you should not be in the same role for all of those years because it does show a perception of how open and flexible, a person really is. Are they open to growing and things like that? So you absolutely want to make sure that you are showing some career progression specifically when it comes to the role itself. All right. So one more thing I want to add before I go to the next one. When you start talking about looking for a role every 3 to 5 years, I don't want you to feel like you have to be pressured to do this. I want to make sure I put that out there. I do not want you to feel like you have to be pressured to change your job. If you love your job is giving you everything that you are asking for when it comes to your career development, your growth, and all the things, then by gosh, stay. But what I'm saying is that if you have career aspirations where you know that you've done all you can in this role, yeah, you're happy, but you feel like, hey, I think I now have positioned myself for another opportunity that can actually give me a different title and more money, more responsibility, or maybe you're looking to gain a specific skill and you've identified a role that will give you access to be able to hone in and cultivate that skill. So again, we shouldn't always be thinking about chasing money. We all should be looking at, is this role setting me up for and setting me up for the success and gaining the skill sets that I need to be able to level up. And that's really what you should be looking at too, because if you're gaining the skill sets you need to level up, the money's going to come. The money is going to come. All right. That's the one thing I will tell you. If you are being very strategic about making sure that you are gaining the skill sets that you need to keep you marketable, the increasing your income potential is going to come. So again, when you're looking at, if you're in a job and you're happy, ask yourself, why are you happy? Are you happy because you're gaining the skill sets you need to keep you marketable? Are you in it because you get 3 weeks of vacation, and 2 weeks of sick pay? I mean, don't look at those things because you can get those things anywhere. Make sure that you are gaining, again, focusing on those skill sets that are going to keep you marketable and increase your income potential. That is important. So if you're watching right now or just tuning in, my name is Sherry Sims, founder of Black Career Women's Network. I am solo today because Makita is traveling and is on assignment. And so if you are here watching, please type in the comments and let me know where you are watching from. I want to know, where are you watching from? So again, we're talking about staying in your safety zone. Why staying in your safety zone? There's pros and cons to that. And we're talking about this from the book that is Nice Girls Do Not Get the Corner Office. Okay. But that's just a figure of speech. But again, I like staying in this space of looking for a new role every 3 to 5 years, because when we start to think specifically around what it's going to take to succeed, that means different things for everyone, depending on what industry you are in. But again, thinking about your job. By the time you get to the 5-year mark, you definitely should be reevaluating some things about what all have you accomplished? Is there anything else that you can achieve in the role? And look, I know that we are working in a really tumultuous time right now. And so some people are like, you know what, I'm gonna stay where I'm at just because the economy is what it is. We're like paying 5 times what we were paying for, a loaf of bread, so to speak. And I get that. But at the same time, I still want you to be focused on making sure you're getting what you need from the current role you're in, and that it's keeping you, again, marketable, and making sure that you have the ability to increase your income if you decide to leave. All right. Because anything can happen where you can make the decision to leave, and you want to make sure that it's setting you up for success. All right. Now, here are some of the ways that you can gain some of those skill sets in your current role or even in your industry that can keep you marketable, right? One of them is volunteering for stretch assignments. I always say, if you're talking about coming out of your comfort zone, or why the reasons why we stay in our safety zone, one of the things that can bring us out of that is by volunteering for stretch assignments. The stretch assignment may not be at work. It could be for an association that you're a member of. It could be a local community project that you're a part of. Find ways to stretch yourself and get you out your comfort zone. You still can put those things in your resume. You still can put those things on LinkedIn, and even showcase and share these things on LinkedIn about how that volunteer assignment has stretched you, and how you taken those skill sets that you've achieved through the assignment, and you apply those to the role that you're currently in, and how it's been able to make an impact. So that's the kind of stuff that it's important for you all to be able to consider. Thinking outside the box when it comes to your career. And yes, we have to make money, and we have to take care of ourselves and our families, but we still have to be very strategic and mindful about where we are in our careers and what we're gaining to keep us marketable, and to make sure that what we're doing it will have an opportunity for us to increase our income potential, which is hugely important. The next one I want to talk about is taking risk. When we're talking about taking risk, I'm not saying that you need to, be unorthodox with it, but think about those things that make you uncomfortable. If we're talking about staying in your safety zone and coming out of that, and one, volunteering for stretch assignments, taking risk it could be something as simple as maybe you do not like to speak in public, but maybe now you're going to volunteer to be a part of your association's conference, and you're going to talk about a topic or a subject that you do at work, that you're a subject matter expert in, right? And you're like, I'm so nervous to get in front of all these people and talk. So again, that can be a risk. And so I'm using that as an example to say that the risk that you take doesn't have to be so life changing, right? In terms of detrimental to your livelihood, should I say. These could be small risks that you're taking. You could be someone who's never, done a PowerPoint presentation in front of a team before. And maybe you're going to do that. Maybe you're not good at Excel spreadsheets and you're going to take on creating one with formulas for a group or a project. And so that may seem like it's not a big risk to you, but in the thing with things, if you got someone who's depending on you to create this and you really don't have experience in doing it, it's a risk in your credibility. It's a risk in your you being able to show that you got the skills and goods to do it. So the risk could be big or small, depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I always say, think about taking risk. And another risk you could think about taking too is looking at your pay scale. I'm going to be very transparent. I remember, 12 years ago when I was, doing, I was a recruiting manager, and I sat down at my desk 3 months into this new job and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. What else can I do with my experience and use it in a different way? And so I started to go on this journey of exploring what that looked like and discovered career coaching, and was very excited about that. And so I had came across a nonprofit and volunteered my time to them so I could learn more about them and utilize some of my skill sets in the job that I wasn't doing in my current role that I was getting paid for, but I was utilizing some skill sets in the volunteer role, like public speaking, things like that. And so what it did for me was gave me more confidence in terms of the things that I could do from a facilitation standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. And so I applied for a job opening they had as a coach and got the job. Didn't realize that, nonprofit pays a lot less than corporate roles. So I ended up taking like a $36,000 pay cut to take this job. And so I did it with no hesitation because I had a desire to do something different. Again, I'm a single mom with a little kid, right? And I took this leap, but it was the best thing I did because, eventually, during that specific journey, BCWN was created. But again, I'm sharing these things to say that I took a risk by taking a pay cut. And the only thing it really didn't even take me 5 6 backwards financially. What it did was I had to be very, very frugal and very, disciplined in my finances, but I was very happy in the direction that my career was going and I was feeling fulfilled. And even though I wasn't making as much money as I was in the role, in my HR role, I still was very happy. So again, your risk looks different for everyone. Just saying, looks different for everyone. All right. Next thing is you always want to make sure you're investing in continuous learning and skill development. I cannot stress this enough. I know that, I know sometimes our companies do not have a professional development budget to pay for a course or to get a certification that you may need to help keep you marketable, because they want to be able to, they want to be able to gain in the ROI of investing in that in you by you staying, if they do offer that. So just remember that if your company does have a professional development budget and they want you going and you're using it to get a certification, take a course, they want to ROI. They want to be able to know that you're utilizing that within your current role for them. And that's okay. As long as it's keeping you marketable and giving you the opportunity to increase your income potential, I think that's fine. But you want to invest in your continuing learning and skill development. That is always important if you want to be able to level up. to get out of your comfort zone and thinking that you get to stay in this bubble and it's all going to work out. You have to do the work. And so investing in continuous learning and skill development is one way to do that. All right. So I think it is almost 1:00. We still have about 6 or 7 minutes left. We can answer some questions if we have any. And thank you guys for tuning in. Again, Makita is actually on assignment. So we haven't been able to have her on in a while, but we miss you, Makita. We miss you for sure. All right. So the last one I want to share before we wrap it up is reassessing your core values. And the reason why I want to cover reassessing your core values when you're talking about staying in your safety zone is that you got to look at, where are you now? What's important to you when it comes to a role, not just on the job, but why are you staying? Are you staying because you're scared? Are you staying because, is this job still meeting up with your core values? Is the company still in alignment with your core values? Is all that still important to you? And if it is, what are some of the things that you need to kind of reevaluate where you are? I always say that someone who is an entry level, just starting their career out, what you value is going to be different than someone who is 10 years in or 15 years into their role. But even your core values, and we all have like top 3 core values that drive us and help us make the decisions that we make when it comes to our professional goals. Reevaluate those too and ask why. Some people, they're like, what my top 3 is, I need autonomy in my job. I want to be able to make sure I'm making money, and I need to be in leadership, right? So others may say, you know what, I need to be able to not only be a leader, but I need to be able to, be a part of the change management. What is your driving core? What drives you? That's really the main thing. And again, I always say money's important, but there has to be a balance. And so again, think about that. Reassess what your core values are. We have a career SWOT that we have some of our members use that kind of helps them look at their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it also includes a list of core values, and we have them write out their top 10 and then narrow it down to their top 5 core values, because those are the ones typically will be the ones that drive you and help you to make those professional, or the reason why you make those professional decisions. At least most of the time anyway. Sometimes it's other things that are complex within the workplace culture that can be help you, that really are driving forces of how you make decisions. But that's another live conversation for that. But if you do have access to our mobile app, please download it, and you can go in and you can download our career SWOT. And that is a great way to go in and kind of assess what your, kind of where you are when it comes to your, to your strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities, and where you are. Sometimes we have to we need to do that quarterly kind of touch up assessment, so to speak. But you can go into our mobile app and download our creating a career SWOT. And it's a great tool to use. You can print it off as a PDF. You can print it off and write on it. And it tells you how to conduct a career SWOT. It tells you how to manage your weaknesses. And I always say we can only manage our weaknesses. We can't master them. Common mistakes that you can make, strategies and actions you can make as well from that. So yeah, go into our app. You can download it from Google, the Google Store, Apple, or Google Play, or the App Store, and download our career SWOT and work on that. Work on that career SWOT, because sometimes we need to reassess what our core values are. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this Career Tip Tuesday. For those of you who are not connected to us, please join us in our network. Download our app at the App Store or Google Play, and get connected to our community and resources, videos, and all the things that we have within our communities. Look, this is your career development in your pocket. Okay, career access, community resources, all the things in your pocket, events, all that stuff in your pocket. And download our app and get connected, and then go in and then download the career SWOT. You won't regret that. All right. Again, my name is Sherry Sims, founder of Black Career Women's Network. We're going to wrap it up this afternoon. I'm going to leave you with this quote: "The life God gave you is larger than the life you've been living." So God gives us all special gifts and talents, and it's our job to use those discover what those are and use those to work in our purpose. So I hope you all have an amazing, amazing rest of your work week, and we will see you at our next Career Tip Tuesday in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.